What was that? I heard a grunt.
Apparitions, poltergeists and war await the most haunted team in Peterborough. Hello and welcome to Most Haunted. Despite its relatively short existence, today we visit a building that has witnessed more suffering and death than any of us can wish to imagine. Remnants of its past appear to manifest in the form of a grey ghost with cold, invisible hands, poltergeist activity and a general sense of unease that has forced many never to return. And that's why I had to bring you to Peterborough Museum. The cellars at the City Centre Museum and Art Gallery actually date back to 1538, but it's the 19th century building that now lies above that contains so many memories. Magistrate Thomas Cook built this townhouse in 1816 and even held trials here before the 3rd Earl Fitzwilliam allowed Peterborough its first hospital 41 years later. Despite a great fire in 1884, the building witnessed many wounded victims from World War I before its conversion to a museum in 1931. 7 decades later, and the exhibits remain. But who else walks with you as you wander these haunted floors?
This is a very refreshing investigation. We're in the centre of Peterborough. We're in an old house that most definitely the foundations go back to at least the 1500s. The actual house that we're in was built in 1816 for a gentleman called Thomas Cook, who was a local magistrate. But from 1857, this place was Peterborough Infirmary. Now, the amount of death that's taken place in this building means that it has to be haunted. And it is extremely haunted. It is renowned as being the most haunted building in Peterborough.
All over the upper floors, the phantoms of a young woman and a little girl have been seen with regularity, and this room is no exception. It used to be the operating theatre, and they've been seen by many different people on different occasions. Poltergeist activity is also prevalent here, and many guests feel very uncomfortable for no particular reason.
And it's got every form of haunting that you could imagine. There are dark shapes, there are male figures, white ladies, there's poltergeist activity. Probably the best one of all is this grey figure, or should I say this man, reputedly wearing a grey suit.
When the museum was a hospital, a young officer called Thomas Hunter was brought here after being wounded in World War I. He died shortly after, and ever since then, his ghostly form has been seen walking up and down these stairs. Guests often tell of icy cold hands touching their shoulders. Footsteps are heard walking up and down when there's no one here, and many people report being followed. And at this spot, the ghostly figure of a woman wearing a Georgian dress is said to roam. Many people refuse to come to the cellar on their own. One person who did fled in absolute terror, saying that they'd seen something and they never returned. So what had happened? What did they see? Had they seen the dark, shadowy figure that's said to lurk here? Had they experienced the unexplained cold spots or heard footsteps running up and down this long corridor? We have 24 hours to find out.
So we're presented with a very different location for this investigation, and it sets the scene for parapsychologist Kieran O'Keefe to reveal his theories behind our approach to capturing evidence of life after death.
Now, there have been paranormal groups here before, haven't they? Some of them have had success, for instance, trigger objects.
Yeah.
What sort of things have happened there?
Well, we're quite fortunate in that one of the groups before actually had an old coin move when they had a trigger object experiment set up. But thankfully, the museum curator has actually kept that coin so we can replicate the experiment exactly and see if it moves. I think it moved about ½ an inch, so we can see if it moves the same sort of distance.
And there's what used to be the operating theatre. You know, many people are seeing sort of the apparition of a woman and a girl that are going round on the upper floors. I think anywhere for me that used to be an operating theatre is quite an eerie place, even though it doesn't look anything like one now.
Yeah.
Do you think that will have an effect on the crew this evening?
Well, I think if people know what happened in that particular area, or they know at least the previous accounts, that'll create some sort of suggestion. They'll also be quite anxious about being in that particular area, especially if they're on their own. But you make a valid point. The operating theatre doesn't actually look as though it was an operating theatre. It's set up as a lab now for looking at fossils, that sort of thing. So it'd be quite interesting for those on the crew and the mediums who aren't aware of its history, and see what happens to them, see what sort of experiences they report.
What about the cellar? Apparently somebody had gone down there, they'd seen something and fled. They were so frightened and refused to come back. Now, I've been down the cellar and it's not a particularly nice place with the lights on. So again, we're back down to the cellar, the eerie, dark place. Is there any particular experiment you want to do down there?
I think the cellar is a perfect place to conduct vigils. I know on previous investigations we're always coming across cellars, but the great thing about this particular account is that the person actually ran away, and I think they didn't return to their job, which makes it a lot more powerful and a lot more of a credible account. So I'm hoping that either on one of the vigils, the walk around, or maybe some lock-off cameras, we do actually pick up some phenomena there.
So we now know that this building has offered evidential intrigue before, but will it do so again? And who is the man dressed in grey that so often walks here? Doctor or patient? Did he pass in peace or in pain? Spiritualist mediums Derek Okora and David Wells know nothing of this building's life, past or present. But 24 hours from now, what will we be saying about Peterborough Museum?
Well, it's funny, as we've just come in, not immediately, but just now, into the atmosphere, I feel it's probably, this is naturally coming from the residual energy. What I want to say is that I'm very aware of people passing us by as if we're going back at some point in time, away from this scenery. I'm aware of people rushing about. I'm also aware of feelings, or those coming to my body, as if people are hurting. I'm aware of a doctor, not a doctor, a spiritual man here in the atmosphere coming from the residual energy, and him rushing about. And this poor man would have worked long, long hours. The only way I can put it is if he wants to help people who are injured. And the atmosphere, it's like, to me, is like I'm in a hospital. Right. And they're moving about at speed.
When would this have been, Derek? When would you say that it would have been a hospital?
When would that be, Sam? When would it be? Probably, I may be wrong with this, but like First World War. Right. First World War. There's one soul that didn't survive. Sam says he's a brave heart, a man who stands righteous.
So who is he?
Who is he? Sam says we will encounter him further on.
Okay.
Derek's early detection of the role that this building played in Peterborough's past is indeed true. But having cared for so many and for so long, is every astral happy to remain here?
I actually feel fine, but Kath and Rachel don't. For some reason, I don't think they've got anything to be worried about.
Ah! Get out!
Most haunted are at Cambridgeshire's Peterborough Museum, a building that has both judged and cared for this city for nearly 2 centuries. Derek has already hit upon one of these roles, a theme that soon continued further along the first floor.
I feel the man who was talking about a moment ago actually comes in this area, and he maybe spends a bit of time here. This man, Thomas Hunter, earlier, not that I planned to do it, but that's come back as well. is if I'm, you know, I've got someone who go around the area singing quite a good voice as well. Waltzing Matilda.
So you're saying he's Australian?
Well, if someone's singing Waltzing Matilda, yes, I would say yes, very much so.
Yeah.
Yes. But no. Oh, so what do you mean, no? That's the feelings I get. Australia.
What year did he die?
19, and it looks like 16.
Okay.
1916.
Right.
Okay.
Can Sam give you the date when he was born? I'm just interested because with all I know, it would be fascinating to see if Sam could, because it's
Can you do that?
with so much information. Yeah.
He was 30 of years when he left his physical body.
Although a few years short of the soldier's physical age, Thomas Hunter is one of the men strongly linked with the male apparition who regularly wanders the museum's floors. But this wasn't always the city's infirmary, as shown the higher that we climbed.
This soul moves about all around this museum. It's not just in one spot.
Are there other souls that you're picking up? Because you're just at the moment picking up on this one soul.
There's a lady,
Right.
very kindred lady.
What
I don't
time
know
period
why
would you say she was from
Oh
then?
gosh. 18. Come on, give me more. 18, 5, 6. 1856. 1856 sounds given me. Very saddened.
Is she seen in this room?
I feel that she probably could have been spotted in a couple of places. Charlotte. This lady's name's Charlotte. She's a good soul.
Charlotte who? Do you have a surname with her? No?
But she's not connected to the hospital then. You're saying this is a different time period? and
Yes.
It's
Yes.
not a hospital back then? or-
Yes.
Do you think any phenomena would be experienced in here by anybody?
I feel at times there are things that are happening, but you know, it could be recorded of the phenomena taking place. There could be, I don't like using this word because it's not a true description of spirit energy moving. It's what the naked eye or the physical eye can't really pick up, and that is what we call shadowy figures, floating, you know, seemingly away from the floor and moving at speed. There most definitely would be movement, and maybe someone spotting that movement outside or noises happening in here. They enter and then suddenly they're and out.
We found this interesting, as this section of the museum has yet to hold any association with hauntings, although a woman has been seen on the floor below this one. So we wondered what David Wells would reveal from his time amongst Peterborough's many historical artefacts. Strangely, he had yet to even reach these exhibits before two energies headed into his sights.
I've got conflicting energies. I've got a male and a female. But they're disassociated. They don't know earthly. They don't know each other. The male is stronger here, but and he's more recent. He's early 1900s, and the female is probably more early 1800s or mid 1800s. Do you know what I mean? She's a bit earlier than that. The man is dominant here. He's much more dominant here. And I want to go just up a bit. Following. But just what's interesting about the man is he looks as if he's contemporary dressed, and he's got a suitcase. He wants to leave this place, hence the suitcase. And he is leaving. He's not arriving, because clearly you could have had either way. He is now presenting with puttees. When I see puttees, they're knee to ankle bandages. It's World War II. I don't need to see anything. World War I is puttees. I don't need to see any more than that. And that says, in my mind, World War I. So I suggest he was here, in this area. He's got Anzac on his cap badge. Is that the Anzac? Is that the Australian?
Yeah, it's Australian.
Yeah, I think that's just because he's got now he's wearing one of those dipped hats, and the side is up.
Right.
And the badge is there on the side of his head. I'm getting conflicting because this woman is saying to me that this used to be a private house, and that's a sensation that I actually had all the time I was here, just getting ready for make up things. Is this feels very much to me like someone's home, and then there's this big stick-out thumb of an Australian soldier that I don't understand, if I'm being honest. He wants to go home, so that makes me think that he's earthbound here. In other words, his body's here.
And what sort of activity would he be causing on the stairs and the woman?
I think him. Imagine if you walked, if you saw someone who was so intent on going home. Imagine the emotion they feel, that longing, that kind of uneasiness, if you like. So people may sense that uneasiness.
David appears to have encountered the same two roles that this building is renowned for: a former townhouse home and the scene of a soul who lost his life fighting on foreign soil. But could he supply a name for the Anzac soldier who is known to have died here? I continued to question, and David did deliver an answer as we entered the former operating theatre, a room rife with mysterious movement.
Have you managed to get a name at all with the man on the stairs?
Yes, I have. I've got the name Thomas. I can't get a surname.
What about this room?
But it feels like a lab to me. It feels like a medical space. But astrally, I can pick up very little here. Apart from it's almost like things have been moved. I know there's lots of things to move, and it might be someone comes in and moves something, but it seems to me as if someone is moving things around. There's a child in here and there's a woman in here, and they're both. I think it may be the woman I met on the stairs. So they're kind of. They're in this house thing. They're Georgian, if you like. You know, sort of.
Any names with her?
I haven't got a name yet, but I'm going to keep trying because there's something forming that I don't want to commit myself to yet.
Okay.
But it's forming, and I want to just leave it to come to me.
Okay, all right.
So, another correct connection with the military man who is strongly believed to haunt Peterborough Museum. But what are the layers that never see the light of day? Accessible via steps on the outside of the building, David heads into the only area of this property that existed before the 19th century.
Of all the places we've been in this house so far, this feels like the most negative to me. And I hate to be the bearer of bad tidings, but he's a get-out merchant, he's a shover, he's a scarer.
Oh.
He's a scarer.
Who is he?
He's appearing initially for me like a black mist, and going at real force. I mean, it's almost like if you saw them running, you know, it's really legging it towards me in my mind's eye.
Oh, how horrible. Well, why is he here? Why is he in the cellar?
I sense it's almost like someone who lived here. Now, I don't know why would someone live in a cellar? Yeah, it feels to me like he actually, for some reason, lived down here. And I mean, his job seems to have been almost like make the fire, so do the fires, anything dirty. And I think when you are like that, what you tend to do is you tend to withdraw as well. And when you have an area that is your own, you will protect it. So he builds up... What was that? Which direction did you hear it from?
God knows.
Yeah, above and just to there. Yeah.
What do you think that noise could be?
Unless somebody's moving around in the museum shop upstairs, which I can't imagine, because we're all down here and the girls are, I think, still in the Bow Reserve room. I don't know.
Is he here now?
I would tend to put him to my left. These sections up a few. Seems cooler that side to me. Seems hotter that side.
Do you want to call out and see if we can make...
if he is making noise. Yeah.
Okay.
This to me feels like his personal space. It really feels stronger than I've felt about anything for a long time. I feel that this is his personal space.
And is he in here now?
I would say he's certainly listening to us. He seems more as if he's moved into that little corner over there, which is a bit tighter, just where you've got your back towards it.
Thank you. Sorry, I'm moving. I don't want to have my back to it. Right, can you call out?
Okay. If there's anyone in this space, any astrals present, could you please make yourself known? Could you please tap? I heard a tap.
I heard that.
Yeah. That was inside with you.
Yeah.
Could you please make a tap again?
This place is definitely a place to come to, in this particular room, you feel.
I think so, especially in here, yeah.
What does he look like? Can you describe his face?
Yeah, he's quite hairy. He's got moustache and a beard. Very unkempt, as you would imagine. Teeth are very, very bad. And he's just in like clothes he wears constantly. There's nothing clean about him at all.
As with any cellar, this part of the building lies hidden from public view, and these same claustrophobic archways are the only part that have supported two different buildings. These are the foundations of a house that once stood here, a residence that David feels may well have held its own negative forces. On a positive note, though, the crew are for once in no real danger of losing their bearings amongst the museum's open-plan upper floors, which, after a quick switch to night vision, is where we begin our night vigils.
It's a vigil, and it's the girls, and we're on the top floor. That's it, isn't it? The museum? Top floor of the museum, and
By the shops.
By the shops, and the other guys are below us.
Oh.
And there's noises already.
Hello?
Hello?
With Rachel, Kath and Joe already surrounded by sounds on the second floor, Kieran, Carl, Stewart and I join David in the same cellar that the psychic feels once housed a horrible and unkept man.
So is he in this room?
Yeah.
Whereabouts?
Right in front of me.
Is he?
Right in front of me.
Oh, should we go into this
Should we
room?
go in there and then we can go in the shop?
He wants to. Is
This is why we had him when you guys.
I forgot. Yeah, that's all. What was that squeaky noise? Oh my god. Is there somebody in here? Hello? That's my lead. Let's walk round. God, it's a funny smell. We're moving in.
You can go around in a complete circle.
Oh, I don't like it. Oh, can we?
Yeah.
Oops, what was that like? I just heard a noise behind me. What did you hear?
I thought it was Rachel, but she...
You join hands?
Yeah. No, I've got her. Please make your presence felt. If you need our help, especially please do something so we know you're there. Make a sound.
God.
You alright?
Yeah.
What happened then?
My muscle. I just felt like someone had their hand in the back of my neck when doing that.
Right, I think... Let's just stand there for a minute.
That's what people feel. Let's stand at the window.
Let's
I really feel like there's something behind us.
I thought we did before when I said, what was that? I thought there was someone behind us.
Like following us.
Is there a lady in here with us?
But she's a nice lady, isn't she? I'm not being funny, she's supposed to be nice. The only supposedly evil thing is in the cellar. So if we're scared in here when it's supposed to be something nice, what the hell are we going to be like down in the cellar?
Based on the nocturnal events witnessed so far, Rachel's trepidation would soon be well-founded, as most haunted dare to explore the hidden depths and dangers of Peterborough Museum. Peterborough Museum is the focus of our latest paranormal investigation, where events are starting to accelerate in our simultaneous night vigils. We were hunting both high and low in our quest to test this building's claims of supernatural activity. And whilst Rachel, Kath and Joe were worrying about the noises that they'd heard around the second floor, psychic David Wells was continually troubled by an unkept servant man who he once again sensed lurking in the basement cellar.
This room just to me feels like him, and I don't know why. Maybe it's a workshop or...
Guys, there's a desk here. Why don't we put it in the corridor?
Yvette, do you want to just hold that and I'll just give her...
Do you think we should go back to the other side of the room?
What, walk round?
Yeah, we can always,
Because
go into that shop area.
Oh, I don't know if I want it.
We've got to do it.
We've got to do it, and then once we've done it, we've done. And at the end of the day, what was it? There was a nice brown there behind it. A creaky noise. What, like something was following us? Like a dog would creak. What? Something flew across the screen. Behind us. Is there somebody behind us?
I'm sure I'm seeing movement down there.
That's what I'm saying. Or at least now it's the light, but there's no...
There's no light down there.
Not window, that's for sure.
It's my left hand that's getting this.
There is a breeze coming from the door to the cellar.
Right.
I've got that on here. There is a reduction in temperature, but you're saying it's just your left hand?
It's only my left hand. It's not even going... It seems to be coming from there. Of course, it's not hitting my right hand at all, so it's not coming from there.
I'm not getting anything at all, and I'm standing in this area with it, so it's definitely, it's not a breeze coming from the door that seems to be...
I think there's a shadow over there.
Really?
Might have been my shoe. It can't be my shoe.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Thomas?
They think that this chap who's seen a lot, they think it's Thomas Hunter, who was an Australian, sorry, I keep thinking I see sort of shadows.
I must admit, I do feel nauseous, a bit dizzy.
Are you alright, Carl? Are you trying to get your balance? Or?
Yeah,
that's how I felt.
I was coming in, I went...
Exactly
Noticed
happened
you
to
doing
me. Yeah. Exactly the same as happened to me, Carl.
I'm alright,
You
just
felt the
taking my
same.
bags.
Both of you felt the same thing?
Yeah, I felt off
losing your
balance.
balance.
Come on then, that's the best you can do. Do something more.
Ooh.
What?
Holy shit almighty.
What?
Yvette, come here quick.
What?
Oh, you've missed it.
What?
I've just had a big orb dancing around on the screen.
Although this was our second visit to the cellar, it was the first in complete darkness. The basement had had an adverse effect on our senses and left one or two of the gathered crew feeling very disorientated. David and I decided to move up to the first floor and invite Jo to join us in a vigil involving glass divination, and she was happy to do so. After all, Jo had already been worried by events upstairs with Rachel and Kath, who had somehow persuaded themselves to join Stuart back in the cellar.
Just be very, very careful down there. It isn't nice. It's not at all. How are you two girls feeling?
It's not headachy.
What was that? I had a groaning.
You didn't?
I did.
Did you?
I did. I swear to God, I heard it.
I didn't hear anything.
I heard it.
Thomas Hunter, if this is you, please move this glass. Thomas, do you want to return to the land of your birth?
just because.
There's nothing there. Oh, hang on. Oh, just hang on. What's up?
I hear noises.
Oh, hang on. Oh, hang on. Don't forget, we're standing on all kinds of crap.
No, but I can hear footsteps. Can you hear it, Cam? Yeah, footstep noises.
Is it a town that you wish to be closer to rather than this one? Okay. Don't tell me where, but do you know where, Stuart?
Yes.
Okay. Then, just in any random order, give me just ask 3 names, any order.
Okay. I'll basically pick 3 areas because it's rough areas rather than anything else. Is it Northumbria?
Thomas, is it Northumbria you wish to go to? Okay.
County Durham?
Is it County Durham you wish to go to, Thomas? Just for control, what's the last one?
To Cleveland.
Is it Cleveland, Thomas, you want to go to? What's the right answer?
It's right, County Durham.
Do you want us to leave?
What's that banging? Where's that coming from?
Do you want us to leave?
What the hell's that?
Do you want us to leave? Do you want us to leave?
Thomas, if you're in the corner of that room, could you please show yourself in front of the camera? Please use the energy. If you need to build energy this way, by all means do it, Thomas. Just show yourself. Show yourself by the door, Thomas. Please show yourself.
Thomas, are you taking the glass to where you're going to show yourself to?
Just
Don't leave
look.
us in the bed. Please don't leave us in the bed. Stuart, we don't want to leave.
I'm not. You don't want to leave. Well, what do you want to do?
I don't want to go back down there.
Kath, get off my arm. Just. Right, okay. That could have been. That could have been footsteps upstairs. Don't forget the crew are above us.
No, but they're not. They're not.
What was that on camera then?
What?
Something just went.
Ollie.
Something just went.
Ollie.
Are there other spirits in the room with us? Is there more than one? More than 2? Is a woman with you? Is there a woman spirit present with you? Another man? Is there a child present with you?
Thomas, can you let someone else move the glass? Just let us know if that's okay, and then step aside. Thank you. First of all, can I ask for the spirit of the other gentleman that's here to come forward? If you're here, please move this glass now. Please, just as Thomas did, please move this glass.
Totally different way of moving.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Some like different personalities.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Hello?
Come on, let's go down.
No. Stuart. Stuart,
What the f*** do you want us to do? Do you want to stand here or do you want to go?
No, but I...
What do you want to do?
I...
Almighty!
Is it in here? No, don't go in there. Please don't go in there. Please don't.
All right, just calm down. Just calm down a minute.
Do you know Thomas? Is that why you visit here? Are you a colleague of Thomas?
So you know each other?
Is your name George?
Is there any spirit here in this house that we need to be careful of? Does he reside or visit the cellar? Come on over here to me, Andrew. Right.
The cellar's over that way.
Oh, it's the cellar.
Oh, that's
this
what the
way.
cellar
Oh,
is,
the
yeah.
cellar. Okay.
Nice one, George.
Okay. Will he harm us?
I'm actually walking into this room now to see if there's anything in here. It's actually getting quite serious now. I don't know what's going on. Ah!
Stuart, please. Stuart! Stuart? Don't just...
What did you do then?
I didn't do anything.
Something's just been thrown.
We're just stood here. I don't like it. Stuart, please stay with us.
Let's go. Let's get out of here
No,
quick.
no, we...
We're going.
Who's making that noise?
That was me.
Stuart, should we go and get...
Shit, something's just gone across the screen. It looks like an orb. Just past Kath then. Just go past that room there. It's okay.
Ridiculous.
Let's just... Get out! Out!
These two vigils appear to have only added to this building's mystique. Anzac soldier Thomas Hunter was a native of County Durham and did die here. But who is George? And with beastly and belligerent energies now fully active in the cellar, who else would dare to enter the hidden and hideous depths of Peterborough Museum?
Hello, is anybody here?
Peterborough's City Centre Museum is the base for Most Haunted's latest paranormal investigation, a study that is rapidly gathering pace, both above and below ground level. Derek, Richard, Ian and both Johns choose to conduct their next vigil amongst the exhibits on the second floor, where auditory phenomena has been heard on several occasions. But well away from public view is the cellar, a spine-chilling area that has already displayed poltergeist activity as a door closes. Although you can't see it, you do hear it. And it was more than enough to send Stuart, Rachel and Kath fleeing in fear.
Stop shaking. But did you see that door moving?
So perhaps Carl's level head could rationalise the mayhem that already ensued.
This is the door that moved, Carl.
Well, don't.
I'm not touching it. I'm not going to touch it.
Can I just have a...
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's kind of shut, isn't it? I can only tell you what, you know,
Something
what
just moved
told
down. Just give me a torch. Oh, no, something. I don't know what. Near where that fire extinguisher is, something seemed to wave about on the right-hand side. Definitely, I'm not seeing things.
Let's play tricks.
Yeah, but there isn't anything. Is there?
Is that a reflection in the window?
I'm not
The
sure.
lights?
Yeah, there is nothing.
Yeah, there's from...
Something moved here. There, here. Honestly, I swear to you.
I mean, I was stood where I'm standing now. And that moved. What? What's up? Did you just put your hand on my back?
No.
Yes, you did. You did?
I didn't.
Something's just touched my back.
I've literally, when I came here, I did bum, bum, bum. That is hard to move.
Well, it moved. Believe me, it moved. We're not hearing the groanings now, though. We heard groaning before. Hello, is anybody here?
Shit. Did you hear that?
Hello, is anybody here? Hello, Hello, is anybody here?
I'm gonna tell you where that bastard came from, Carl. In that room where the door is.
I was going to say, it certainly came from behind me.
Come from there, I've heard it.
Oh, I've just caught a light anomaly coming in this room.
Are you sensing anything in here, Derek?
I'm aware that someone has actually followed us in. Oh, this is an authoritative figure. Oh, this one took no nonsense. Ale? An ale? Is that what you want me to say? Ale? Ale?
Chuck, did you just blow on me?
No.
Someone did. Got my arm there.
Could be him.
Wouldn't be draft from the window, would it?
I don't think so.
No drafting.
I can't company. I think I'm going to have to carry me out.
He's alright.
Come on, do something. Shut this door again. Shut it on me.
I don't think it's a wise idea, Carl. I don't think it's very wise, is it, to organise them?
Let's go.
Hey?
Let's go, Carl.
I wanted to do something.
Oh, Carl,
Is it-
I don't want...
Is it cowardly?
I've just seen a shadow at the end.
You have not. Have you?
I've just seen... That's alright, Right,
Okay, that's shut.
that's it. I'm leaving. Come on, let's go.
No, you can't. This hasn't hurt anyone.
Let's ask the ale to do one thing to make
Okay.
us leave.
Okay. If you want us to leave this area, do something to let us know that that's what you want. You want us out.
It just happened again.
What?
On my arm there. You didn't feel it?
All right, I'm not going to sit here because it's obvious. People are going to say it's me. I'm sitting next to you.
But
so
you
I'm
didn't
gonna-
feel a draft going through the window? or
No.
anything? Yeah.
You've got it again.
You got it again?
Okay.
Right, can we go?
You wants us out then.
What's the matter?
We've seen
There's something down the end of that corridor, isn't there? I know there is.
Is there anybody here?
Be nice to him.
Has got a really nice flashy orb.
We arrived in Peterborough ready to tackle the vast expanse of exhibits that line the museum's 3 floors, and following our many vigils, we felt that they didn't disappoint. The areas that are so often associated with ghostly apparitions certainly provided a varied and intriguing selection of audibles, although Kieran's additional trigger object experiment didn't provide any further evidential proof. Yet it was the claustrophobic confines of the 16th century cellars that amazed those brave enough to venture down below the main building. David's discovery of a morbid and malicious male energy could confirm the frightening experiences that have greeted staff in the not-too-distant past. One thing is certain, Peterborough's museum and its fearful foundations aren't a place that you would want to experience in the dead of night.
Peterborough Museum. Yeah, I mean, I knew it was going to be haunted before I arrived there. I mean, obviously, when you've got a place that's had the history like that has and the amount of death that's taken place there, being a hospital, then it's got to have ghosts.
All of the information and all of the information that was tied in with historical accounts of the actual building were picked up by both mediums. Even though they may have presented the information in very different styles, they both came up with exactly the same information. There could be a number of explanations for that. Number one, it could be that they had prior knowledge of the information via some means. Number two, it could be some form of paranormal communication, such as telepathy, for example, or it could be that they're actually communicating with the dead. The main focus of paranormal activity at Peterborough Museum was in the cellar. A number of vigils that were conducted there, people did actually experience auditory phenomena and became quite anxious and very fearful.
When Stuart, Kath and Rachel were in the cellars, things did start to take off, doors were slamming, and I know for a fact that while Stuart was in one of the rooms, something was actually thrown off the wall at him.
I don't know what's going on.
There are a number of explanations for this, both environmental and potentially fraudulent. Somebody not involved in the vigil could have moved the door, or there's a possibility that wind could have moved it also.
This is a building that has housed and cared for many. But as we leave, who else do we leave behind?
That's it for this week's Most Haunted. Until next time, sleep tight.
When solving the case seems impossible, we turn to Tony Stockwell.
This is the murder scene here.
Psychic Detective, next Tuesday at 10:30, new and exclusive to Living TV.
Yes, a week's time you'll be amazed at what Tony Stockwell's discovered next Tuesday at 10:30. Coming next, it's not over yet, more of that very odd noise when we're back in Peterborough for a Most Haunted Extra.